this is how I've chosen to solder these things together. I take the battery and rough up both sides. So I do it one way, rotate 90 degrees, do it again, flip it over, same thing. Then once I've got so I've got all these guys roughed up already. So then I take this is flux, just a paste flux for solder, and then just put a little bit on each one. Doesn't have to be too much. I find with soldering these batteries though, if I don't rough up the surface, it takes a whole lot more heat, and that's the same thing if I don't flux. It takes a whole lot more heat to get the solder to bond. So that one was perfect. You get better at this as you go along, so the more batteries you have, the better they're going to start turning out. And the less batteries you're going to end up messing up from overheating them. I think I just figured out what the technique is, or what a good technique is, or what is helpful. What's pretty helpful. Okay, so what I did on that last one was I piled up a whole bunch of solder on the tip of my iron here, and I didn't apply it right away. I let that that big drip of solder on the tip, I let it get to the maximum temperature that this iron will get it. And then I put it on there, and that way I have less contact time on the battery itself. Yeah, see how perfect that one went down? So yeah, that's the trick, getting the solder nice and hot before you apply it to the battery. So that one was pretty nice too. Kind of messed that one up, but whatever. That one was perfect. I think what the best thing to do is let the solder get hot on the tip before you apply it, but don't leave it so long that the resin from the core of the solder starts to char. Like, you don't want to leave it that long, just long enough so that it gets the solder to the maximum temperature, and then it's good. Anyways, I think you get the point. I was gonna use this stuff, but I mean, I couldn't find a reliable supplier that would send actual nickel strips. Um, I got a bunch of like garbage, like nickel tape, like nickel. I don't know. It was probably aluminum, but it was like basically like a sticker that you'd use for arts and crafts. Like it had a sticky side on one side and a really, really thin foil on the other side, and it wasn't going to hold any current whatsoever, and it wouldn't stick if I soldered it. And this was the only one that I was able to get out of 5 different suppliers that I tried to order from. This one supplier was the only one that sent actual good quality stuff, but I don't know which supplier it was. I didn't keep track because when they ship the stuff, they rarely put their names on the shipment. If you use eBay and order from China suppliers, they always just, I can never tell who actually sent what order. If I ordered the same thing from like 4 different people, I never know which one's from which supplier. So unless I ordered them at different times, but when I order them all at the same time, I can never tell because they never put a business card. They never do anything like that. Anyways, I was gonna try to use this stuff like everybody else suggests, but nah, I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm just gonna use a copper wire, and yeah, that's it for now. Oh, the type of flux I'm using is this stuff. Plumbing flux, lead free. Lead free? Oh man. Okay, well, I'm using solder that's got lead in it. So this isn't the right type of flux for this type of solder, but it's working. I've got other flux, but I've tried it on this stuff and it works about the same. So yeah, so this is 60-40 tin lead. So 60% tin, 40% lead. And it's got resin in it. And it's made by Kester.